Okay, so before we start, there's some do's and don'ts. So I mean, if you can, I would like you all to participate actively. That means if I ask you questions, you all try to answer me lah. But if you don't know, also it's okay, right? Because everybody's here for learning, right? Then if you want to go toilet, you want to pick up phone, everything, you can, right? But silently go to the back. You don't need to. Hey, Cher, can I go toilet or not? To be honest, I don't know where is it also lah. It should be somewhere outside. Later you ask Calvin along the. Sorry.
Go straight in the middle.
So yes.
Just be careful of your head.
Oh, thank you. See, active participation. That's wonderful. Right. So anyway, if there's any questions you all want to ask, you all can ask anytime. But ideally, when I pause or when we break, don't try not to be too disruptive. But you can ask questions. That's totally fine. And there's some very strange reason I've encountered in my lifetime of coaching, training, and teaching. There are some people who like to attend a class and then take their phone and then watch the YouTube class of what I'm teaching at the same time. It's a very strange thing, but it does happen. Okay. So if you're playing with your phone, I'm just all adults here. I'll close one eye first. But don't be like, you go and watch the tutorial. Then, hey Jerome, ChatGPT says you're wrong. Okay, I got 16 years of experience in this. So my experience, local context, right? Singapore production, I'm there one. Okay. So if ChatGPT tells something else, then that one is ChatGPT's own statement. Okay. So next thing, let's take a look. Right, so a bit more about myself. I'm a creative director. I founded a company to do production since, actually I've been doing this since 2010, right? But my company is since 2015. I'm an animator. I turned into video production, and then I filmed in multiple countries, like 6 different countries. I've done for broadcast, it means Mediacorp lah. Okay, I've done NDP, so I was NDP team 2023. I've done overseas, so I've worked for Discovery Channel in China. I've done a lot of local marketing videos for corporates, and some of my key clientele will be shown in a while. Oh yeah, and I'm also ATLP certified. That's why I'm training you all here. I've been teaching for about 8 years, my trade lah. So I'm an active professional who likes to teach. So it's like my hobby here. So I just share with you all my knowledge, right? And then I'm a licensed drone pilot, right? I got too many things. I'm doing a 360 virtual tours. If you go into CapitaLand, you click any of the website, you see a 360 tour, all done by me. Right, whole of Singapore. Okay. Wow. So these are some of the clients that I work with and some of the stuff that I've done before. Right? I mean, I've done this for 16 years. So have some faith that I'm giving you correct content. Okay, so let's. Okay, so those are some of the stuff that I've done before. And I said, I started as an animator. So what I do is I use my animation to help my production. That's why value added, right? But today, we'll be focusing more on advanced cinematography using the mirrorless camera, right? Okay, so maybe, quick one. I'm just going to ask a little bit more about yourself so I know who are the people who are attending this class. I'm just going to go like everybody. But, right, very simple one. You just tell me your name, right? Don't need to tell me your whole history lah. But if you have some level of history, you can tell me. Okay? So your name, hi, I'm Jerome. Anything about yourself? Doesn't have to be work lah. I like to play basketball, right? Then I hope to achieve on the mirrorless class. Say, I bought an SLR. I just want to know how to play a little bit better, shoot nicer video. Also can. Or maybe you're transiting career. Or maybe, I don't know lah, you just thought free class then fun lah. So okay lah. Right? I'm fine with that. Okay, let's start with you. Chee Kiong.
Short form CK.
Yeah.
So easy. Just want to have a bit more awareness about this. That's all.
So you use camera before?
Not those SLR type.
Okay. Sorry. Correction. SLR. I'm sorry. Old school. I use this term. Single lens reflex. Your old camera, there's this mirror that piak piak. That's single lens reflex. Now mirrorless. That means that they took out the camera to make it smaller. But function wise, it's the same thing. It's roughly the same thing. Okay. Let's do at the mirror. Okay. Next.
I'm listening here. I'm just trying to know something about this because it's very new to me.
Okay.
So I want to know more about it. So when it's something I can take Google find out more.
Okay. So Mr. Lim here trying to find out more. Anything else he can go and learn on Google online? Yeah.
Okay, I'm Audrey. I did play many years ago with DSLR.
Okay.
I used a consumer camera, so Sony Nex, I think 70, very
Okay.
old. So I do like the cameras. So before I buy more equipment, I just thought maybe I need a refresher course.
Okay.
But also because I've never dealt with video before, mostly still.
I see. Okay, so this one considered advanced videography. There's a lot of planning / production work. So it's not the essential videography. Essential videography is just take the camera and all the function. Right? So my one a little bit more planning, a little bit more maybe hopefully interesting to all of you all. Okay, next person.
Hi, I'm Prima.
Prima.
Yeah. I'm very much interested in videography and photography.
For your own business or
No, personal.
personal? Okay.
So yeah, this is like a awareness for myself.
Okay.
How it comes about. It's something new.
So you interested in doing those kind of vlogging and stuff, or it's just really pure
Pure
hobby?
personal hobby.
Ah, okay, that's good. That's
Not
good.
social media.
Yeah. Social media. We have other classes. We have handphone one. Mirrorless also can, but it's a bit heavy for that. Next.
I'm Garnet.
Sorry,
Garnet.
Garnet. Okay.
And I'm kind of like interested in videography.
Video. So also as a hobby lah. Or you want to do it to earn money one.
Hopefully in the future.
Hopefully. Okay, we shall try. Next.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
Michelle.
I work in the bank and I work with the marketing folks to produce content.
Okay.
I also cover videos. I would like to have some of your opinion on trends, like for example, vertical formats.
Trends. Okay.
And personal, I take photos and I find it much easier to just shoot a video on my phone because post-processing is so much faster.
Yes. So actually, this module, just to let you all know, is part of a series of modules that Equinet has consulted a bunch of us professionals. So we have a panel. We have a panel of like 8 to 10 of us sitting down and crunching these classes. So we actually have for mobile phone, we have for SLR, we've got like CapCut. So like, you know, those simple, easy editing. And we've got even DaVinci. So we are trying to build the whole spectrum of it. To answer your question on vertical formats and everything, not really covered, but I will answer you straight now. So everybody horizontal used to it, right? What do you all think horizontal can do for you? In a filming sense, you have our subject over here. Horizontal has surrounding. Correct. So horizontal has context. So you think about it, you use your handphone, what happens? In terms of you all watch a lot of vloggers, a lot of those YouTubers, whatever these days, like that. Then talk. What do you think happened? What can you see on the screen? Your face and your body. That's all, right? User-centric, no context, right? So vertical versus horizontal format now these days. Horizontal is still preferred by cinematographers, storytellers, and so on and so forth. It's used to give you a bigger picture of the whole story. Whereas this is a new trend. This is literally a modern trend. It's user-centric. It's practically created for the user-generated content, whereby it's just hearing me talk. Which TikTok very good at it, right? TikTok is a rambling platform. You just go there and talk. Both have their users. Okay, don't get me wrong. This is for quick content. Quick content, build traction, build followers, all this very good. Why? Cannot see anything else, only see my face. It's either like you or hate you. And I tell you, the universe very big. So you post it online, somebody is going to like you, and many people are going to hate you. Okay, just don't be affected by the hate. Okay, so there's some love. Right? Okay, so I hope I answered your question. If you got more, we can discuss later. Right. Okay, next.
My name is Lydia. I'm currently in Kim's job. So I'm here to. Actually,
shift
Yep.
whatever I should know.
Yeah. I think it was supposed to be handphone videography. Yeah. So I was in charge of handphone videography. Then they changed and then they put me in charge of mirrorless because I have the tools, the toys. So we shall see. Okay.
Pauline,
Yeah.
I'm here because I want to do a video for my company,
Mm-hmm.
and so I want to learn a little bit more so
Mhm.
that I can talk in 10 or 20 with the vendor. I also want to know what's the difference between like, if I do like reels on my social media, I use a handphone versus using a camera, which will be better. Which will
Speed versus quality. We're always finding a balance. Always finding a balance. Do more. Practice. Do more. So, jump. Next.
My name is Ash.
Yeah.
I used to dabble shooting DSLR for studio production.
Yeah.
But now I want to know what's new.
What's new?
Like studio production.
Nothing's new. But I can share with you more like industry knowledge if you're wanting. Yeah. Okay, and next.
Wrong here.
Yeah.
So I do all the mirrorless camera mainly for photos.
Okay.
And since video is trending now, then I would like to explore more
Okay.
possibility of the camera.
Very clear. Maybe I use you as my helper later.
Actually, I'm not much into photography, but I'm more interested in what's the capability of the latest phone that I should buy so I can make nice videos.
That one we can talk about it later. Okay. The next person. Oh, busy. Never mind. It's okay.
My name is
Jia Fang.
I have interest in photography.
Okay.
I use DSLR. I don't use a mirrorless. And for videography, I play with it on my mobile phone.
Okay.
So I'm here because I'm just interested.
Okay. And then?
Francis, I'm sort of semi-retired, so all along I've been wanting to like to take pictures. So all the past have been learning on how to take photos.
Mm.
Further to develop
Okay.
my interest.
Can. Last few. Yeah. Never mind. I must be fair to the whole class, so I'll ask everybody. So how can I help you? Like name and.
So my name is Neil. I'm actually retired, but still working part-time. Been a photographer for a very long time.
Also, you're a photographer.
So I'm just here curious.
Okay. Can. I hope I don't see us way in front of you, but no, I'm mixed. I'm hybrid. Yes. Next person.
I'm just to learn only.
Yeah.
Just keen to learn more about video and
Okay. And then yourself? Sorry, your name? Jajin. Wow. How do you spell that? Anybody else heard like I'm judging? He's like Judge Dredd. So, I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah, but Jajin. So.
I'm doing a marketing job, so I want to know how can this course help me in like content creation.
Okay. Very technical. Unfortunately, because this one advanced course, became a bit technical lah. I can soften it as we go because again, this is the demo class, right? So if you all need, if you don't want super technical, I can be more playful one. We can do it, and then I can take out camera and we can play camera also, right? So we can also see how it goes. Okay, next.
I'm Eugene, I'm just going to learn.
Yeah, right.
I'm Swani here.
Swani.
I run a company.
Yeah.
I want to learn to take videos of myself and my team to be able to broadcast things that we are doing.
Broadcast.
We are a group of counselors.
Counselors as in like counsel people.
Yes, counsel.
Okay. So like youth risk, those kind of or depression, those kind of funny things. Right. Okay. I think I missed out two more people who are sitting in front. I love front row people though. Hi.
My name is Arul. I used to talk in conferences.
Yeah.
And give interviews and all.
Yeah.
I want to come up with my own podcast.
Podcast, okay. Podcast, we can resolve that quite easily. Yeah. Okay. And yourself?
I'm Cheryl.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at photography and video, so I hope to improve my skills so that I can use it for content marketing.
Okay. So step by step, we will cover a little bit of everything because that was what the brochure wrote. So I'm covering everything. Unfortunately, I cannot remember everybody's names. I'll try my best. The one I confirm remember is Jajin. Yeah. But the rest I'll try again. So if you all anything, don't like. I hope you don't feel offended if I forget your names. We'll try. Okay, so topics covered today. What's amateur footage versus professional? What's footage, what's just plain filming versus some level of visual control, right? And then some level of a visual brief breakdown means that like a creative director or let's say a company engages you as a professional to go and film, what kind of information typically they will feed you, right? In this case, it could be the other way around. Maybe now you will see what kind of information you should feed the person that you're hiring. You never know, yeah? Okay, then some level of basic shot planning, right? Shot planning, I mean film logically, right? To film things logically. What's the big difference between videography and photography? What's the big difference? Movement. I will argue that photography can catch movement also. But what is the big difference? One frame.
Whereas in video, which I actually don't like to watch because I think it's a waste of time. You tell the whole story, but when you watch 5, 10, 15 minutes, that's the beauty of photography. One shot, the whole story.
Okay, I'll give you all a one-word answer. The difference is time. One-word answer, time. Right? So, photography can tell a story. At the same time, I can put it there for a long period of time. You can slowly look at it, appreciate, admire, analyze. Videography, things move as it goes, right? So with time, sometimes you need to give them information in a very short amount of time because it's only up there for a short while, it goes off already, right? And sometimes you have the luxury of letting it flow, right? But again, I will tell you that the biggest difference is time and control. So planning, because you need, it's a stitching of multiple shots. Planning does help you make sense of things, right? Okay, so then lighting, then we see how it goes from there. All right, okay. So this one, gonna give some background to it first. Basically, this group of people sent me a bunch of videos to ask me to do up an edit of a New Year gathering, like a New Year greeting, like Happy New Year, right? Okay. So the question is that I'm just gonna let you watch through all of them, and then what do you think is considered, let's say, amateur or appealing to you? Like, how would you like to represent yourself? Which of these videos do you think suits you the most, right?
Happy New Year from all of us at the Speaker Society. As we welcome the Year of the Snake, we celebrate wisdom, transformation, and the strength of our community. Together, let's make this year one of growth, connection, and impactful story.
Too much. Next.
Happy New Year from all of us at Speaker Society. As we welcome the Year of the Snake, we celebrate wisdom, transformation, and the strength of our community.
Next.
Happy Lunar New Year from all of us at the Speaker Society. As we welcome the Year of the Snake, we celebrate wisdom, transformation, and the strength of our community.
Next.
Happy Lunar New Year from all of us at the Speaker Society.
Last but not least, this one.
Happy Lunar New Year from all of us at Speaker Society. As we welcome the Year of the Snake, we celebrate wisdom, transformation, and the strength of our community.
Okay, first and foremost, who loves the treatment for this one? Nobody. Okay. Yeah, then I go to the obvious one. Treatment-wise, this one. Who will prefer to represent themselves here? More than half of you, right? Okay. Who don't mind representing themselves in this level? Right. Also about a third of you. And then this one. This one. Okay. What's how can I say like what is amateur versus professional? Okay. This is overkill. Let's just put it that way. Okay. This one to me is considered professional. Why? Because she's the only one who came to my studio. Like I opened down there in the park, everything set up nice, they shoot. So where are some of the things that I feel separates us? Okay, first one of course is planning. But next, let's digest it a little bit. Okay, let's look at this one.
Happy Lunar New Year from all of us at the Speaker Society. As we welcome the year.
Okay, first thing first. Do you feel like the world is shaking? Right, so it's to me shaky footage sometimes if you no choice. Let me put it this way. If an aeroplane now crashed to the building next door and your handphone shaky recorded it, can sell to the news or not? Can. So opportunity moment can, right? But if you had the choice, would you try to shoot shaky footage? No, right? So amateur footage tends to be unplanned, unproduced, no consideration for lighting, right? So this one, super plastic filter, like nobody's business. Pass to me, I cannot unfilter you. You can pass to me raw footage, I can put filter. But you pass me filter, I cannot unfilter. Right? Very tough. This one I think okay. So I really think okay. Even though you did the home job, can you all tell me what's okay about it? What do you think is okay about it? Because 1/3 of you all agree, no? 1/3 of you all say that you can use, no? So you better, 1/3 of you all better tell me why is it good? Like, okay, why do you think it's good?
Sort of like just calm, gives you the thing that it is genuine, it's calm.
Yeah. Looks clean.
Yeah, presence.
Yeah.
It's the presence of
The presence,
you can feel
right?
It, you can feel it.
You can feel some effort also, right? Like the lighting actually, to be honest, the framing aside, I mean, you use a handphone or whatever, it's well lit. You can see his whole face. He's talking to you a very clear message. He's not he's not right? He's well planned. And then he also put some effort to put some background, which to me is like, you put background, I cannot remove and replace. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah. So I mean, it's exactly as he says, right? How you frame it, how you plan it, how you clean up the area, all makes a difference in terms of amateur versus so-called professional, right? Like I will give you an example. If I was to film this room right now, if I had my team, proper team, every wire in this space will be hidden. Okay? There will be nothing, no straps, nothing dangling. Okay? That's just a little bit of detail for you. Okay. Okay, so when you watch a video and instantly feel, this looks professional, what are you actually reacting to? Right? We kind of talked about that. The planning, the polish, right? Can it be sharp, well exposed, and you still look amateur? Yeah, I think so. Like it can be very confusing sometimes if you anyhow film. And if two people use the same camera, can one result look like content and the other one look like production? Okay, let's move that. Okay, this is the key takeaway for this session, this portion, that professional footage is not about being prettier or not prettier. To me right? It's about being more intentional. So why 1/3 of the people was okay with the guy, even though there are some flaws, it looks quite DIY, but it's nice enough to give to a simple greeting to, let's say, your client. Simple. I mean, of course, there are levels to this, right? If it's me, then you say, oh, this is your room, you don't put down there, do. Then I go and send a video like this. My client might go, it's a bit not up to standard. But if you are doing for yourself, simple business, right? Simple for social media, you're not paying thousands of dollars for advertising spots, media spots. That's more than enough. You're sending the intention to your client, and the intention was clear, right? Intention was very clear for that. That's why 1/3 of you all actually agreed that I can use that, and I also agree can use. Okay, so this one you all want to take photo, can take photo. If you don't want, don't need to. Right, because we already discussed it already. I just need the internalizing of it. Okay, moving forward some more. What's this? What was my intention for this? Let me think for a while. Okay. So talk about intention. You all seen podcasts before? Everybody all watch podcasts? A lot of them, the podcast is just like on Zoom, right? So the quality of the podcast, I mean, a lot of times these days also, they always say like content is king. That means the amount of information that you're giving out, people rather listen to that. They can turn off the video podcast, you can just listen also, right? But I'm going to show you all atas podcast. Right? This is Atlas podcast, whereby the intention is all there one. Oops.
Welcome to the Carbon Exposure Project, a platform for peer-to-peer conversation with the people that are helping to shape carbon markets of tomorrow. Join me, Rene Velasquez, as I get to have conversations on topics ranging from ESG and finance, over cocktails in the Lion City of Singapore. Cheers.
My guest today is David Antonioli, CEO at Vera. David is a seminal figure in the carbon markets, and after 15 years at the helm, he recently announced that he is stepping down from the leadership position, in an announcement that surprised many in the market. I'm privileged enough to sit down with him during a recent visit to Singapore for his first on-camera interview after making his announcement. Join me as I ask David to reminisce about his journey and to reflect on his legacy in helping to shape environmental markets.
Okay, so anyway, my whole point in that was that, do you all agree that this is a more upmarket podcast? How much do you think it costs to do something like this? Like, or rather, what's the big difference between this one and just like a Zoom call, right? Is the production value, what I consider the production value, okay? So I will tell you, per episode of this, he spent more than $10,000, okay? Suddenly everybody wake up, here 10,000, 10K, all wake up already, okay? Per episode 10K, why? Okay? It's not like I was trying to rip him off, I earned very little from this project. Venue already, he booked a World 50 bar, right? Venue is $5,000 already. Just venue, right? And then the team to set up this whole lighting, they all agree that the lighting was quite intentional. Like everything is like quite nice, or we try to make everything as pretty as we can. I mean, he's spending money, right? So team to set it up, minimum 4 to 6 people. Cameras 3 cameras. Each camera set costs about 15,000 up, right? Then hair and makeup, production assistants, and everything. So your whole team there per day running costs how much, right? Right. So 10,000 per episode wasn't much. In fact, we had to shoot multiple episodes in one day to make it make sense to even film it because of the cost of it. But the thing is that how is he trying to position himself? He's trying to position himself upmarket. That's the first thing. He's trying to only talk to CEOs and ministers because his project is carbon exposure. He's trying to talk to your country, your prime minister, and convince you to buy carbon credits from another country, right? So he don't want it. He wants his opening. This is his first few videos to like go with a bang lah. Show that like some level of prestige. Like sometimes insurance agent or whoever want to have a nice watch or banker want a nice car, something along those lines. So he's paying for the production value to go higher and higher. Can we go all the way to cinema level? Can cinema level it costs $30,000 a day easily. Okay, easily. Why? Because you have 30 or 40 people running around helping you to arrange stuff. Okay, so just some behind the scenes of it, right? Bare minimum hair and makeup artist come out already $800. She'll sit down there and every time something sweat a little bit, help you wipe. Treat you like king. Okay, then again, say all us in the background down there, all trying to make everything nice, cleaning out everything. Of course, whatever you cannot see, you don't shoot lah, right? Okay, but I show you all the stuff behind. Right. And this is just to show you all the so-called when you're upping the production value, what is the big difference? Okay. Okay, and then once it's all set up already, within a certain zone that we light up nicely. Anyhow, use your phone also, all the photographs will be good. Okay, within a certain zone. I must be clear. Because I light it up within a certain area, you walk there, anyhow you look good. Right? There's also a little bit of a difference sometimes between photo and video to some extent. That video try to light a scene so that you can shift around and it's still okay. Okay? Okay, so chapter 2 already, so fast. What time is it? We are good. Okay. Filming versus visual control. Right. So most of us are now at this point of time whereby we're just at the level whereby you just catch and film lah. And to me, that is actually the most important part. That's the most important part, right? It's the same as all trades lah. Like if you want to learn how to cook, you never go and start frying an egg, you never get there. Right? So you need to start by filming stuff and understanding the process of it. Okay, but before that, this I'm assuming that everybody went for essentials class already. But in this case, nobody has any essentials, so Jerome will go back to the basics for you. Okay? How am I going to put this? Okay, so if you are a professional videographer selling your services, the first thing to me that I think is quite important is understand your tool. Understand your tool, right? Unfortunately, that's the first barrier you cannot get over, right? If you want to sell a service, why? Because your customer expects you to know everything already. So the first step, of course, you must understand your tool. So in this area here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these are quite related to video modes that only people using your mirrorless cameras will encounter. Okay, so something like this. This is a picture profile. Basically, this is a specific profile used to catch more color. Although it looks more grey, it looks grey, but it catches a higher dynamic range. Meaning the dark can still see something, the light can still see something, and you can pull it back together. Okay, so this is a certain system to use, but in order to film this, you need to know how to put your settings right. If not, it's the most difficult to control. Okay, sorry, did I ask you? It's a very technical class already. Sorry, okay, technical class. So in the phone we don't have this. No, this is not contrast at all. This is color science. This is color science, right? So that means there is a specific color science so that it grabs a lot of information from shadow and from the highlight. But you need to be so precise. Your ISO must be, depends on your model, 640 or 12800. Along those lines, there's a lot of technical terms. I won't run through all the technical terms because that should be covered in essential class. But I'm just letting you know that if we did 2 cameras now, and then I did an interview of you, and then the first camera recorded it like that, and the second camera recorded it like that, I bring home, I'll cry straight away, right? Because it's hard to reconcile. So if you have multiple cameras, let's say 3 cameras or 2 cameras, then you will make sure that every setting is the same before we go. Okay? So you see, that's now my team. We have one whole team down there. Right? Before they go, they will all shout out. They're like white balance, 5700 or what, 4300 cannot. Lighting, I have a very long conversation already. Then cannot go. Okay? Right? So one of the difference in the Pro is we are super particular about settings. Okay? One of the things. But your I will say we start with here. That means exposure. Exposure. That's the first thing. Is this the first time you heard the word exposure? No? Okay, so exposure is how bright or dark it is. In your phone, sometimes you click, you can select the brightness and darkness. You click on the white area, you try to expose on the white, then everything becomes too bright. You click on the dark area, you go to opposite. Sorry. You click on the dark, you try to balance it out, then it becomes too bright. You click on the white, you try to balance it out and become too dark. Right? So we are always trying to find a happy middle, happy in between. Right? And for filming cases and also high level photography, we will make the whole environment suitable for you. Means that if the light, if the like say this glass is too bright, I will have somebody go behind and tape the glass. Like we will paste film on it, right? So first step is understanding how to get a simple balanced exposure. Second will be white balance. That means that this is very cool and this is very warm. Do I sometimes purposely want to shoot like this? Yeah, maybe. When will it be? Cold weather, right? like Singapore, but you're trying to make her look like she very cold. Like, wow, very cold already. Then you purposely shoot like that, or you color it into like that. Right? Another one is night time. So you'll be surprised. There's a lot of especially Hollywood. It looks like night scenes, bright daylight, but they light it until and they color it until it's kind of like looks like night. That's why when got nighttime Avengers fighting, the time I can see them so clearly. It's nighttime in the forest, I cannot see anything actually, right? So it's actually a color process. This one, of course, emotionally, like let's say like childbirth or something like that, you don't want to childbirth this color, right? So intentionally, this kind of warm colors does give you a mood. Yes.
Profiles, like how do you make decisions on picture profiles, like scenic picture profile? Is it part of the client brief or is it your artistic?
Yes, part of client brief. Okay, so in terms, I don't have a technical question, but I answer for anybody who's interested. Okay, picture profile. Remember I say log, log is the widest range. That means you take it already, it's like giving you raw materials, all so that you can manipulate as much as you can. Same but different. Yeah, log is a color science. The DNG will be whether or not it's a raw footage or what, right? It's same but different. But anyway, my point is that if let's say you shoot for Netflix, Netflix will tell you exactly what brand of camera can you use and what setting you must use, because they think that is the way to control quality, right? But if you shoot for yourself and you know that you don't want to do too much effort to it, then you won't always shoot log. Too much processing power. It uses uses more memory, and you must edit it because you cannot take it out from the box, right? You just go inside, then color, send to somebody else, and color, then come out. Too much effort, right? So if it's for yourself, you know it's not going to some cinema somewhere. What's wrong with this? This is nice out of the box. I mean, the color here is a bit off but that maybe could be a projector thing. But I'm saying that if you set it nicely in your camera already, you can. If the client, most of the time, if you do for broadcast, that means that any of the cable channels, HBO, Discovery, CNA, all this, right, they will ask for log, right? But if you do for regular clients, I've never heard a single client ask me for log before. So I can just use this, that's fine. As long as it's properly exposed. Right? If I use this already, the white color is dead, no? I can't catch it back on. This one, the white color, I can still catch back something. Okay? Wow, so much information. Okay, let's move on. More buzzwords. Oh my god. Okay, so it's about active decisions. This is a case of framing already, right? That means composition and framing. But without getting too deep into it, how am I going to talk about this without getting too deep? Show your examples. That's the easier way. Okay, first, basic. Anybody heard of rule of third? What? Did everybody here play camera before? All play camera before, right? But for those who have not heard of it, rule of third, I don't know the origin, who was the one who founded it, but in general, if you divide your screen into 3 parts and you focus on one of your corners, it's generally a more pleasing image. For those of you all using your phone, iPhone or what phone also, sometimes you will see a mode down there that says rule of third grid. Sometimes, I don't know which model phone you're using, but sometimes, there she go rule of third grid. So it is just a universal rule, but it's not the ultimate rule. That means that if you are not sure, you follow. So that means you see down here, you divide your screen. The point of interest is say here, then my face is like that, then just stick it there. In general, you are not so far off. You are passable. Okay? So rule of thirds is just to help any amateur or anybody who's starting to get a sense of creating interest in the frame. Jurassic World. It doesn't look that obvious, but when you draw the line, suddenly it's very obvious. The row of, right? More example. Okay. So in this case, the third happens in the lower half. Sorry, lower third, because it's a third. And then the middle and the top. And even the subjects are placed down here. Can you see it? So do you consider this a nice and balanced? I mean, of course, composition, there's a lot more things to go for lah, like color, weight and everything, but this is your basic row of third. Yeah, one more image to show you. This one is a super obvious but super unique shot of row of third. Is shooting the background of a bus mirror, right? But immediately the composition is fairly balanced, fairly interesting, and yeah, good conversation. Okay, so this is visual control. Aha. Now, this one is a bit more interesting. So, row of third, everybody tried before already, yeah? This one all tried before. All have some level of experience. Okay. Do you all see where the leading lines are for this? It's not my laser pointer. But do you all see leading lines for this? Like, when you see the image, what's the first thing you think of? Immediately you just see his face, right? Do you think it was intentional for the director to make you forced into his face? Or do you all think that he's in the center, I should see his face? I think both, right? Right? So it's intentional. How is it intentional? First of all, do you all see all these lines? Do you all see all these lines? Right? Do you all see these lines? On top of these lines, this director is particular. It's not, he put a pillow here, but he shine a light here so that there's a line clearly diagonal pointing straight to the center of his face. Intentional, so nothing is up to chance. Right? So, this is something a bit higher level, quite hard to achieve. But if you have the time and luxury and money and everybody's staring at it, you can think about it. Whereby you can use your surroundings, anything, shadows, what we call positive, negative space. So this will be the positive space, this will be the negative space. Right? Use everything in your surrounding to help enhance your image or direct the flow of the eye to where you are looking at. Right? So if it's like that, another good help during editing is a slow zoom. Can you imagine? You look at this already, actually you feel like you're zooming in already because all the lines going, right? So you do a slow zoom forward to his face, suddenly the impact is very, very strong. Okay? Let me show you other examples for this. Okay? I scan this room. All should recognize. No. You all don't watch cartoon. Okay. Cinderella. Recognize? Have you all watched Cinderella? No? Okay. So, do you all see the leading lines? That's the question. Is it obvious to you? This is Walt Disney back in the day, right? Because, let me tell you a little bit about animation, even though it's not related. Animation in the past all hand-drawn. You all know? But do you all know it's all hand-painted also? You know how they paint? They take a piece of glass, and then there's a gigantic camera on top. This camera weighs 75 kg. They put a camera like that and look down. There's a piece of glass, and the artist will paint one frame out of 24. And then they'll take the glass, slide it one side. Somebody sit down there with a bucket, wipe and clean. Another glass come inside, and they'll paint another one. And then the camera on top shoot one frame at a time. Create your animation. Very crazy, right? Imagine the pain. That's why they all check. That's why in the hospital after that. It's real. It's a true story, right? Because I'm a degree in animation. This is my thing. But what actually helped them was that because they had to spend so much time doing this, their level of composition all superb. Because they have so much time, they're spending so much effort already, they will do all these kind of leading lines to make the storytelling as effective as possible. Okay? Ta-dum! This is from a book, by the way. Another shot over here. Okay, Cinderella is running up the ball. She starts over here. Where do you think she's going to? Here. Clear? Right? Of course, animation easier to achieve lah. Video and photo need a bit of luck and location. Okay? So the leading lines point to her and the leading points to point A and point B. Shows the end game also. Right. Now, over here, lenses change the mood. It's not just about wider and tighter. Any of you all played with multiple lenses before? All the SLR users? Or you all buy the SLR only use one lens and two lenses? What lenses do you have? Okay, 105 mm, and then the white one? Oh, okay. Anybody, photographer don't count. They're an expert already. Anybody else basic have used different lenses before? What do you use? 20 to 70 and 85. Okay, so a lot of events kind of shooting.
Just travel, easier for travel for the 20 to 70.
Okay. So when my question is, for all those who are not so sure, is that do you all think there's a difference in the look of this lens versus this lens? I'm talking about look. Or is it just further I need to zoom wider? I have no space, so I need a wide lens. Like now, if I want to capture all of y'all, impossible, right? If I use the zoom, I need to. In fact, my head also cannot see all of y'all. I need to turn like, right? So what do I need? I need a super ultra wide. In fact, ultra wide also maybe cannot catch you. Okay, but do you know that there's actually a change between the lenses in terms of the look? There's a change, okay? To prove that, we will use our handphone, and hopefully you all have multiple lenses on your handphone, and hopefully you all have the 0.5 one. If not, you look at your neighbor, okay? Okay. The aim of this experiment is to. Do you all have anything in front of you like this? Let's say this one. Okay, or something that has a lot of lines and dots. Your keyboard also can. Your keyboard is a good one actually. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to do a very silly thing. The first thing I want to do is I want to make it to ultra wide. That means 0.5. If you have 0.5, bring your camera very close if you have a keyboard. Very close, but try to make sure that the keyboard touches all four corners of your screen. Not like two ends. Yeah, it could be anything. This one also can. And then you take a photograph. Okay, I'm going to send this photograph to myself so that yes, 0.5. No, try to go for an angle. Sorry, try to go at an angle. That means a low angle and fill the whole screen. Okay, now take a photograph. Okay, I will show you all the demo via WhatsApp. Okay, so here's my first photograph that I took. Oh, keyboard very dirty. Okay, right. So what I'm saying is that ultra wide at an angle, try to touch both ends of your thing. Okay. Now, take your camera and change it to 3 is a bit tough. Let's try 2 times. Okay, and then from 2 times, you're going to try to fit this exactly the same way. That means you fit here, corner to corner, fit it on your screen. Try to fit it the same way. I'm going to try it. Bottom corner, top. Okay, try. Boom. Okay, this is called abusing WhatsApp. Okay, do you all see a difference? What did I do? Left corner, right corner, edge to edge. I change the lens, left corner, right corner, edge to edge. Right? Right? Is there a difference? Skewed. Skewed will be one way of saying it. Right? So there's a level of distortion. Distortion, yeah? This is related to light, how the way light flows. There's a whole chart. You can go YouTube or you can go Wikipedia, how the light will bend the wider you go. Right? The most accurate area is typically the center. That means that the closer to the center you go, the less distortion you get. This distortion based on wide angle, the further it goes, the more distortion. Right? So, is there another thing that you notice other than what the distortion? How about the spacing between the numbers? The spacing, which one is closer, you think? This one? Spacing closer? Right? So when you use a telephoto lens, that means a lens that zooms, not manually walking over, you use a lens that zooms, what are you doing? You are compressing the image closer to each other. Right? That's why you see like NDP, you shoot the aeroplane, then the aeroplanes fly, they look like they are side by side. But actually they are maybe 10 meters apart, which is still very close. But they look side by side. Why? Because I have to zoom like 30 times, like 1200 mm to hit there, just to see. So what it does is, it compresses the look. My point in showing you all of this is that different lens has different effect. Right? The super beginner user only knows white. Okay, white physical constraint, then white. But when you hit a certain level, you want to control the look of everything, you should start deciding based on what the lens will look like later on. Okay? Okay? So to give you all another perspective, your eyes, 50 millimeter. Your eyes. About there, 50 millimeter. Then just now you mentioned 105 your lens. So 85 to 105, all the range, all portrait lens, right? It's around your eye, but a little bit more zoom than your eye. So it's a little bit more compact, makes your face prettier. Supposedly, in theory, okay, it's all in theory. Okay. Okay, later people asking me why am I sending them keyboard photos. No. Oh no, where's my slides? Yeah, let's see what else I have before we can go and take a break. Aha! So, in terms of this, like for instance, when you are doing filming that time, I mean, the next time you use your phone or use whatever to go and film, pay attention to how it looks when you're doing this. When you do things that's like very wide, that means you use your 0.5 and then you record. It does this toy-like look because it makes everything very far. So that means that you do like this, it looks like you travel super duper far distance. Whereas when you zoom that time, it doesn't look like you traveled so far. Clear? I mean, you can try you can go and play with yourself You can play with the phone itself. Okay? So if you all watch Game of Thrones, if you all watch anything that has those tabletop looking things, the ultra wide makes a difference. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. This is a sample. I know a good example already. Remember recently, don't know if you all watch enough YouTube, the Apple advertisement. They take the handphone and slide across the table. Tung, 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 they slide across the table. Which one do you think they use? Ultra wide. Why? The table looks super long. Correct. This is art direction for you. Right? So you shoot it ultra wide, you go and follow the thing, then you slide it across the table, it looks like, wow, you went very, very far. It gives you the impression that, wow, that is, like, so much is happening. Then, tung, 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 that person look at it already, then they pause, everybody, what is happening here? Not nearly enough. Then slide back again. Then you're like, okay, you know it's going to travel long distance. But if I use this, like if I use something like this, I already throw in and then you can just do a change in focus, what I call rack focus. Focus here, then very fast. Don't feel so personal. You don't feel like you traveled the distance. Right? Okay. So this is my AI news. I also teach AI in this school, by the way. This is my AI muse. Right. Horrible production. What's wrong over here? All sorts of things wrong. Color. I mean, okay lah, maybe intentional lah. Very blue, but not good enough. Okay. All of this. Hey, don't be surprised that a lot of people just film with all of this in the background. Really. You will see professional crews spend a lot of time just being very OCD. Then like sometimes I get my crew set up already, then I'm like, okay, go roll already. Then they what happened? Okay, again. I broke it. Let's carry on. Okay, so clean up. Right? That is to me first step. Framing also. Do you think the rule of thirds is followed here? Maybe. But yeah, okay. Moving on. And then you caught her, if I'm not wrong, her face is not really in focus. This thing is more in focus. And I'll tell you, if you use mirrorless to film, because now your handphone, everything all very good at focusing. You start using your camera to film. I have many times filmed professionally and accidentally not so sharp. Right? I had to save it in post-production. I have to save it in a lot of ways that I can save it. But that's a different story for a different time. But my point is that as a professional, must check. The focus, I don't care where everything else is. The face, the eye must be sharp. Okay? Getting better. But still, somebody took away the chair, then put a new chair. Then still the focus, this is the most important thing, the focus is off. And then the pose, let's talk about the pose. She tried to be a bit elegant, but then instead of showing off the whole pose, this is what you call silhouette. You know? Okay, the silhouette means what? Means you can, if I black and white, I can still see her pose. If I black and white, I can still see her pose, right? Then she does such a funky pose, and then she does this. Guys and girls and friends, this does nothing for your photo. Okay? This does nothing for you, right? It doesn't build a story, it doesn't build an image and everything, right? So this is an unprepared shot. You should direct her a little bit. Actually, this one, I will argue, is the director's prerogative. The director should say. But as a professional camera person, you should also, hey boss, she's a bit weird. Can we tilt her a little bit or not? Okay? Getting better, still messy, and then finally, this will be something that is a bit more proper. Color is exposed properly, shot is balanced properly, right? And another possibility, you see the difference. Actually, you don't see the difference between these two. You see the difference? On top of this being wider, was it wider because they walk backwards? Or is it wider because it's a different lens? It's a different lens, How did you tell? Can you tell? See, those people who shoot enough photography, you'll immediately understand it's a different lens. Correct. The distance between items. Oops, where are we? Okay, the distance, So you look at the easiest to spot is this mirror. You see this mirror? Look at the size of it. Look at the size of the mirror. And then I'm going to change the shot again. See the mirror? Right? So the type of lens choice, and again, this is assuming you got unlimited space, you're very comfortable, got unlimited time, you can set up. Sometimes we are forced to use wider lens because this. But if you have a tighter, like a telephoto, this shot I argue is a little bit nicer because there's more focus on the person. You can see the expression, you can see everything. Even though this thing becomes a little bit bigger, but you can always make it more blur and all sorts of stuff, right? So the look is what we are going for. Again, you all can also argue with me, say this one look nicer, because you can see the whole dress and everything. Depends on client, right? So I'll do both. Okay, I do both. I guess you can see why I'll do both. Okay, shall we have a little break? Shall we have a little break? What do we have? Yeah, maybe have a short coffee break, like what time is it now? About 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. Keep it easy. 3:30 latest. Thing is gone already. Okay, so I shouldn't be like playing around, but I assume this place is clean. Okay. What is the differences between SLR back in the day? I don't think there's a big difference because now everything can be controlled digitally already. So the big difference for your shouldn't be whether is it mirrorless or SLR. It should be what kind of size sensor we're using. So you can see the physical shape of the sensor. This is a full frame lens. It's a physical size. This is a physical size, right? So this is your standard full frame, right? Just to let you all see what the size of a full frame. Okay, you can see, right? And then, sorry, I never bring a bunch of cameras. Actually, although I have, but the physical, this actual thing gets smaller with each different size. So that means that if you heard of this term called APS-C, APS-C is about 1 over something smaller, just a little bit, a certain percentage. Then you have a micro four thirds. Sometimes they'll sell that. They'll keep saying, oh, micro four thirds, okay, a little bit smaller. Then after that, later on, you will see your GoPro or that. Then, 1 inch sensor. 1 inch is 1 inch. Physical size, 1 inch sensor. Then get smaller and smaller and smaller until your handphone. Right? So your handphone, what's the size of the sensor? Yeah, about like that. Okay? It's in the mm. Alright? So, what is the benefit of having a larger sensor? More light. Who said that? Oh, that's right. In-house. More light, right? More control. In theory, physical space makes a lot of difference, right? That means assume that this sensor, you cut it in a grid. Then every grid dot controls a certain amount of megapixel or lighting, right? Then you tell me the bigger size better or not? Bigger better, because each dot of sensor has more dedicated control over the image, right? So medium format is much bigger than this. Medium format is about this big. Okay, and large format. So those can go until effectively few hundred megapixels, right? So if they tell you your handphone has 100 megapixels, what does this mean? It means your super small sensor, each dot of physical size is dealing with 20 times 20 megapixel, something like that, right? So is it very efficient? No. I tell you, everything is digitally enhanced, right? So don't be fooled by the marketing. Okay, I'm here as a anti-marketing guy. Okay, no. Marketing is good, but anti-camera marketing guy, this megapixel thing is all nonsense. Okay, they tell you the sensor size and the performance is more important. Okay, then we talk about lens. So actually, they still wanted to cover a lot of other things, follow focus, all the real geeky stuff. But we don't go so far. Let's just do the minor geeky. Oh no! Is my battery not working? Uh-oh. No battery. Let me think. HDMI out. Wow. Okay, let's just use cable and see whether the cable works. Wow, it does work. Okay, so much for my wireless plans. But okay, this is your log profile. Just now I was saying you can see that there is actually a lot of detail in both the shadow and highlights, right? But you can just go to a regular profile, something like this, and find some level of balanced exposure. Oh yeah, okay. So when we are talking about lenses, this is a very wide lens. This is a 12-24. Very, very wide lens. And this means that your distortion is more, but you can make things look. Oh yeah, why cannot focus? Yeah, terrible. So sorry. Right? So same as the example just now. But I don't have a minimum focus distance. I'm sorry. I got too many things in front of my face here. I can't see. Sorry for my unplanned, unrehearsed demonstration. My setting also, don't know who changed my setting. This is the problem with working with a lot of people. They every time take your camera, then they change the settings. But they are more professional than me, so they change, I don't know how to change back. Never mind, I'll just look it off this screen. Manual focus. Okay, so as I was saying, when it's very wide that time, you see your movement? Do you have that size of like strong movement? Right? Just going past the words. So let's say you want your BMW go past and you see the logo like zoom. This is a probable look that you can have. But on a dashboard, jewelry, all those, don't want. Why? Too much distortion. Architecture, don't want. Why? Too much distortion. Architecture one, they want to see straight lines. This kind of thing, look at all the distortion. Right? When I move up and down. Okay? Just to switch to a different lens. This is 90mm. Oh, before that, why don't I take a photograph? Can I have you as my volunteer? Yeah? Okay. So, let's say something like this. Frame view head to toe. Ayo, moving mode. Sorry. Okay, frame view head to toe. 1, 2, and boop. Ayo. What is that timer? Holy Land. Oh. So interesting. Both of that works. Okay, same thing here. Wait, 1, 2, and poop. Okay, 90mm means inevitably I have to stand further. I haven't used this lens in a long time. My favorite lens though, last time. Right? Right? So let's say now like that, 1, 2, and poop. Okay, let's take a look at the difference. Right? Instantly, you see the difference between the person behind and in front. The distance of the person behind. Over here. Much closer. Right? The look is completely different. And this being the sweet spot range, your 85 to 135 range for portraits, like is very ideal for shooting portraits and photography. All the way up to like 35, okay, 50 around there, it's still okay to do interviews and video interviews, people humans in general, right? So this is appropriate. But in the meantime, why won't I always put this lens even though it's like like nice for face, right? It's hard to control. Everything is zoomed very far. So remember this Ranzi thing here? Where am I? Okay, let me set auto. Auto easier. Okay. See? This one nice to do if this thing move is okay. But if I try to move, it's like, whoa! It's tough to control because of the zoom, right? So this kind, you should have a stable tripod or gimbal or what. But in general, it's very unlikely that you use anything above. Actually, this is about the limit. I've used this for many events to put on a gimbal. But you need some help. If you just use your hands, this is going to be tough. Right? So, but you see this kind, very good for details. Because this is a 90mm macro. So details, very, very nice, but inappropriate to use for everything. If you only need one forever and ever, I would say 35 is nice. 35mm. That is in between, quite wide. Okay? Or just a telefocal. Okay. Sorry. Very nerdy already. I'm going back to slides. So it's some behind the scenes of a random project that was done very long ago, maybe a decade ago. Put it on the floor. Yeah, so this is just some behind the scenes of a studio ad that we did some time ago, long time ago actually. Sorry for the horrible footage. I'm supposed to be working, not supposed to be using my handphone and shooting. Right? Actually, I wanted to show you all the behind the scenes of a movie that I was shooting, but I couldn't find the footage. but there's the like movie one. So movie set, you have like average 35 to 50 packs just to handle. Because just one camera, you take about 6 people to hold. Because you need one person to control the iris ring, that means the brightness. One person to do the focus. One person if there's zoom, but unlikely there's zoom. Then somebody camera, somebody stabilize. So 4 or 5 people. It's a little army of people. Right? Right. So anyway, I'm showing you all this is because this one was shot in the studio and everything. And you can immediately see all the busyness. There's like 20 to 30 people running around. There's a lot of things happening, a lot of cameras going on and everything. And this is the end product.
What drives you? Every one of our drivers is unique. Some are driven by family and want to be closer to home. Some believe in teamwork and making things better for all. While others value enrichment and self-betterment. These are just some of those we're helping you get closer to the things that matter to you. Find out more about how we're making your life better 365 days a year.
Right. If you fail to plan, you plan to. I got another saying. I say if you fail to plan, then you better have a lot of money, right, to go and burn, right? So anyway, in general, what's the visual brief? Typically, it's a client giving. Client gives it to you. So, for instance, there's technical brief also lah. So technical will be like, let's say Netflix, right? They tell you say you must use X number of camera, you must use X settings, and so on and so forth. Visual brief not so complicated, not so technical, right? But you still need to ask them one important question. Where do you want to show it? That's a question that I like to ask, right? Do you think it matters where you show it? Do you think it matters? Super important, right? Clients that tell you to, never mind, just shoot. We don't know what we are going to use it for. But we need some footage. Later then we'll use it. I'll get my team to go and edit. Not very tough. Very unlikely that you can satisfy them. Okay? So if you know what is happening first, better. Right? Because like let's say Square is Instagram. vertical. As I say, you can shoot in horizontal and crop it later, but the framing is not nice one. Why? 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 Right? Why do you think it's not so nice? Remember just now we talked about distortion? Where is the nice part? Center, right? Then of course you telezoom maybe you can get nicer a bit more, but if you take like this and then you are always cropping off to one corner of it, do you think you get the nicest part? You're not framing it correctly. You're not framing it according to the situation or the lens, right? Whereas if I take the lens where I like that already, and then I'm fitting you nicely, like for example I go over here, then bro, your head very very big for your body. I tilt up a bit. Okay, straighten already. Right? I can do that. But if I shoot it like that, the distorted part, if I turn it, it's going to be distorted in a way whereby your hair will be white and your hair will be flat. Right? So, not very appropriate. If they insist, client is correct. If they don't insist, advise them. Advise them. Right? Say that it doesn't, I mean, of course you cannot educate them. Say, oh, you know your lens, no, they're not going to sit there for you. But at least you know you have some knowledge in your head. Know your audience.
Sorry,
yes.
How much does it cost extra?
What do you mean?
To do both?
To do both.
Oh, you need both formats.
Okay, some people will do it very creatively, right? So some people maybe they will end up taking the camera and then they will take another GoPro or they will take another handphone, right? So that means that you can put. I use the Insta360 X5, so you take an X5 and shoot like that. So you shoot both at the same time. Then you must tell me which one is your primary. That means that if this is your primary, then the nice one will be horizontal. Then the secondary will be not so. Nice is subjective. Nice is subjective. You edit and you very properly edited. Sometimes you can get away with a lot of things.
So it's not a substantial cost increase, it's additional. It's just some reasonable cost increase.
Okay, if you get a pro, that means that you ask a person with high level of pride. Let's put it this way, right? So the professionals all got all different range, and some people no pride, and they say, oh, you ask me to do, I'll just do, okay, right? Then some people have a lot of pride. Oh, I'm an artist, right? If it's like I'm an artist kind of person, they will say they will redo it, right? So redo means double the price, just whatever is your price, you just double it, right? If you are okay, let's find a compromise. I mount something here, then we double, right? I will still charge you because I have extra gear, so I'll charge you for the rental of this gear. I'll charge you for the whole process. Take out the footage, put inside, ingest, and re-edit, right? Then there's the other one. Just use whatever you are there. I don't want to pay for this extra thing. Edit one more. Can? I'll charge you the editing fee of just to change it. But I cannot guarantee you that it's going to be perfect because it wasn't shot for that, right? But then you can cover whatever you can say. Just tell them, say, I cannot guarantee you they will still be angry. So there's no winning in this situation. There's no winning. The only way you must convince them that you are a professional and if you want certain results, you need to do certain things, right? But you never know. Some are nice. Some are nice. Okay. So purpose must show details. Platform. This one platform format super important. I cannot. This actually everything super important. There's nothing not important. Okay, right? The desired mode. Desired mode normally is a bit more higher level already. There's a level of art direction to it. Normally you just shoot natural first. If you are not sure, let's all go for natural look first. You go and try to do your white balancing, to go and create a special look, all that kind. It's very easy to go wrong because it's harder to fix later on. Okay? Easier to go natural and then fix it, try something funky. Okay, yeah. Better have deep pockets. Okay, so part of your visual brief, the most luxurious part, if they ever get it, is a storyboard. This is unlikely to happen. Just saying. Okay? Okay? Have you heard of storyboard before? All of you all? Heard of storyboard? Right. To be honest, if you ever bid for any government project, they will ask you for a storyboard also. Say, give me your plan, show me a storyboard. And then I'll be like, you know how much it costs to make a proper storyboard? But I mean, case by case, So if you really have the ability to, storyboard is very good. Why? It tells, you break down the story and everybody has a plan. Everybody can see the plan, both visually and through text, through description. Means what? It starts here, Squidward waves, wide shot. Right? So this is wide shot, medium shot, ultra wide, SpongeBob in the foreground. You can put all the description. What are they talking about? Did they high five? Right? If this is not clear enough, you can still write further information. Right? So storyboard is the ultimate king. If you sit down there, if you do an advertisement, 30-second advertisement, guarantee you will have storyboard. Guarantee you will have storyboard. Right? If you work with me and the budget high enough, I also guarantee you got storyboard because I'm animator, I like to draw. Okay? But this is a luxury. So anyway, here are some of the things. Saves your heartache. When I say easier to visualize, it's not just between your team. It's between your client also. Right? It's between your client also. So storyboards, what I say easier to visualize is, let's say you look at this. Storyboard has to have sequence, by the way. That means that here, here, then here. It tells a story already. There's a narrative. There's a narrative flow. In the meantime, I can say, why don't here, here, here? Or, you can start to shuffle and discuss the arrangement of stuff using storyboard before you even go and shoot. That's one thing. So it's easier to rearrange. Then you can eliminate also. Not necessary you need everything. If you have no time, what's the priority? Right? So you can eliminate. Then saves you money. Signing your client means what? This one is literally, as it says, you have it there, then you sign off with the client, say you ask for 12 shots. I shot 12 shots. Then you ask me, how come you never shoot the surrounding? It's not in the storyboard. It's not part of the plan. Right? They say, but it's understood what? It's not understood. Right? You have a storyboard for a reason. Okay? So you sign off, you can actually tell them, say, we have accomplished X milestone. We have accomplished this already. That's why storyboard does help you. For expensive projects, please have a storyboard. Okay? That's one. Okay, so this one was not the actual storyboard that we drew for the project. Okay? For the project, quite wing it. But this is a Gemini taking my video and reconstructing a storyboard for me. But if I did a storyboard, it will look something like this. Okay? So what do you need from this? You need a lot of information. Important information. First one, aspect ratio. What's aspect ratio? 16:9. Which is just now I say, where are you using it? 16:9. Right? So each panel's labeling, I insist to my students all the time, because I teach art direction also, that labeling is important. Because, and label very simple, I don't need very complicated label. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just for discussion purposes, later I say that, everybody look at panel 6. You understand? So I don't really like panel 2. The car can make it red or not. You understand? So labeling important. That's what I feel. Script. So because normally script drives the whole story. So the script is written in there also. So we know how to plan as we are shooting. You can visualize it with the image and the script already. Right, so in this case, what drives you in the world of you see this one, you can kind of imagine how visuals will move in your head. Okay, actions and possibly transitions. So actions, very professional storyboards, they can have multiple shots just to do the action. It's almost like animation already, but a little bit less than full animating. Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like in storyboard form. Any questions on storyboard, by the way? Yeah? Anyway, we are not here to learn how to make storyboard. We are here to learn how to understand, and if it comes, what we're going to do. Okay. Mood board. One step down from storyboard. This one is more likely that you will get. And if the client doesn't give you this one, their creative team really don't know what's happening. Then you will have to radar a little bit and be alert. Okay? Anybody heard of this term, mood board? What do you think it does? See, one step down from storyboard, what do you think it is?
General direction
General direction. What do you expect to see in a mood board?
Roughly how it should look like, how it should feel,
So what would you put inside if
general colors.
general colors? Can be photographs, can be drawings, can be notes, can be videos, right? So your mood board is almost like a brainstorm mind map thing, but more concise. It's not at brainstorm level. Brainstorm still very messy. Mood board, this is what I want already, right? So it aligns the look and the feel, right? So if I was to do a mood board, right? This is not the only way, by the way, right? If I was to do a mood board, what I will do is just now say, okay, first and foremost, the concept is that it's very handmade. Like everybody wants that whole handmade thing, the projector thing, right? So what kind of materials would there be? Oh, they're using corrugated board. They're painting using this, they're painting using that. And then if you can, some small little pre-drawn, pre-made thing that you can take a photograph of, right? So that's where your mood board is, right? One of the clients that I work with often in the past is Bloomberg. Bloomberg use mood board very accurately. Like they will always come to you, they say this is the person we are filming, this person, this person, this person, put down there, then you have one whole list of people. Then 2 pages of it will be how the sequencing is going to look like. And they just take photographs from the internet. Depends. We're the film crew. But we're the external film crew. So we fly, I fly around the world, like around the region to help them, like go Malaysia, film Datok, go where. They have both. So they have in-house and they have they have both. They have both. The editing is fully controlled by them because they want the full creative. But the filming, they engage crews. Yeah, case by case. Especially overseas because there are people who don't want to fly. Yeah. Right? So their mood boards are super clear. Their mood board like storyboard like that. But they use photographs. Then they do a little bit of color correction. Right? What do you not want to see in a mood board? Distracting stuff, I would say. That means that, remember, your mood board is not a brainstorm. Your mood board is not a brainstorm. Your mood board is the brainstorm finish already. Then you take what you can visually see from there and put it here so that we know exactly later when we're going, from here, what colors will we ever encounter? Do you think you will become like some super desaturated emo thing? No? Right? It's all colorful. It's all going to be quite saturated. This is the color range. There's only this, and this. Right? Right? You don't go and put some super avant-garde, some special pop art highlighter colors inside. Right? Because you will confuse the crew. You are just saying, this is our look. This is what we're going for. That's your mood board. Okay. No, this is just my side note to everybody. Not everybody does it anymore, but I think it's quite important to do a side recce, especially if you are doing proper filming. Okay? The reason why I say that is because when I say proper filming means you need the works. You want clean audio. That's important. Clean audio. Right? You want to make sure that your lighting is going to be kind of accurate. If it suddenly rains, that's not your fault. But if you go there and then example, you go to a location you want to shoot. You say, I'm going there what time? 2 p.m. Then 2 p.m. Okay, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. should. Oh wait. Let's say 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Like the sun is at a certain angle. Okay, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. I can catch golden hour a bit nicer, not so hot. Then you don't realize that maybe 4 p.m. there's this building over here that casts a super weird shadow, or there's a gap that casts a super weird one beam of light in a super weird location. Right? You go and Google Maps the thing, oh, looks okay. The whole place looks okay, right? So if you go there at the correct time, and then the worst one, I tell you, is noise. So another of my clients is CapitaLand, right? I done all their 360 virtual tour. 360 virtual tour, one thing though, I also did all their marketing videos. And it's what? Industrial buildings. Industrial buildings. I can go there at 9 a.m. and sit there for 2 hours waiting for the trucks to go away. Because the host is standing over there wanting to present, but welcome to the then I was like, but no choice. Right? So what time is the movement schedule? I ask them to give, also cannot give. So I sit down there and go and stare and count. What time is go and do some planning of what is the auspicious timing to show up. Right? Sometimes cannot help it. But if you can help it, go there, find parking. Right? I literally just went somewhere recently. I didn't go in advance. I just parked at some random place and some fella clamped my wheel for $250. And then my friend's office, so he was trying to like help me negotiate lah. I said, hey, neighbor what. Then I found out that the fella is they do car rental. So what happened is they bought all the car lots of all the floors in the whole building. And I was like, huh? That's a very strange thing to do. Because they said, oh, because you park. They bought it and then they have all wheel clamps everywhere and they stick this car wheel clamp paper everywhere also. So I realized that these people are con men. They intentionally are there to go and catch your wheel. I'm serious. So I said, I know you argue already, right? But if I had seen recce earlier, I just park next door, I know already, right? I tried to take a risk, not worth the risk. Right? So anyway, look for parking, lighting, natural, that's why I said funny lightings, you never know. Then on-site amenities, this one quite important. If you have a large crew, right? No plastic bag. Don't just say, hey, everybody, just here's an empty bottle for all of you. You can go into a corner over there. Then we set up. No, that's not gonna happen. Okay, right? This is technically not your job. This is the job of the film producer. But I'm just saying that a lot of times we are nowadays this one-man show, right? It does help to know your location a bit better. Okay? Right? So this is like a so this is one example. Like we go and shoot a lot. The certain time I did a lot for SGH, Singhao Group, right? So we keep needing to go to the clinics or the hospitals to go and film stuff. Then you need to take note, like, do you have space for your light? Like, what kind of lens can I use? Are we going in a very funny place? All must pre-look, because majority of the time, when I hear my clients, it's like hospital, industrial building. There's nothing to see. It's very boring. Like you shoot, it's all four walls, right? So we need to find like what's interesting, like you go to the nurse, say, hey, actually down here, is there any flower pot that I can shift over here, make it a bit more green, all this kind of stuff, right? These things really help a lot. Okay, shot types. Okay, if I have to, I don't know, there's no fixed rule in this, but you all heard of establishing shot before? Establishing shot? So the meaning of the shot is in the name, establishing. So we are trying to establish something. The easiest answer is all your movies, the ultra wide shot. Right? Most of the time. Last time, every time a movie before it starts, it will be a helicopter shot flying over the beach, over the jungle, or something along those lines. The reason why they did that was because cinema is always trying to outdo TV. It is a real story, I'm telling you a real story. Means that last time cinema was 4:3, if you all still remember that format. Then TV suddenly became 4:3. Then cinema got luxic, no color. Cinema not cool anymore. So cinema they created 16:9 to fight 4:3, because 16:9 is a different look that you can't get on your own TV. So they did that. Then after that, TV started getting 16:9. Then they did what? IMAX. Then the IMAX 2.1 anamorphic, right? So this is true. It's a non-stop race. 4K, 8K, the K doesn't matter. It's the shape, right? What are you trying to tell the story? Okay. But anyway, establishing shot. So last time, helicopter was a cool thing. Now there's so many drones. The helicopter has lost its value. Helicopter, okay? Drones, drone, and the helicopter lost. So you see less and less of these helicopter shots because, I mean, you can, but it lost its value. Okay, but the main thing about establishing shot is that is there to show your location, set the context of the film. Normally, ultra wide. You all saw ultra wide already. Then, the other shot that you will want, in our case, let's say you do interviews or what. If you do interviews, you call it the A roll. A roll, okay? And then, there's another term called the B roll. It's nothing complicated. It literally means A and B, 1 and 2. Okay? So A roll is your primary shot. That means your narrative. That means if I'm interviewing him, right? This with the audio cannot break. I must shoot everything. I don't turn it off. Let me I press record, I just let it go. If I accidentally also can. Right? But at least I catch everything first. Because A roll is your main subject, key message, and the main thing. This term safest angle to edit is what? Can you all make a guess what is the most common shot in the world? Shot size. Yeah, you first. Because I haven't talked about it, right? There's wide shot. Then you, let's say, medium shot. Then close up. Then extreme close up. What do you all think is the main one you all use? Oh, these four. Close up. What else? Anything? That's not I heard wide shot also. What? Eventually all four will be used up already. Medium. Medium is the answer. But you all know why medium not? Okay? I think we got to let's talk about that. I'm just going to jump with establishing shot first. Yeah. No, I'm going to talk about medium shot first. I don't care. Okay? Medium shot means what? Medium shot means here until here. Can typically fit 2 people. Up to 2 people. Right? Medium. Medium wide can fit up to 3. Right? Why is this shot your most popular shot? You all know? Why? It's actually very logical. Whatever is on screen represents your audience eyes. You are controlling what they are looking at. So now, if I stand over here, do you feel a bit more uncomfortable at this distance when I'm talking to you? Personal space. Right? This is close up. Medium shot, that means that without straining my eyes like that, is this a comfortable talking space? Yeah? On top of comfortable talking space, I can still see there are people around you. So I can comfortably talk to you and I can see some information on what's happening around. That's why the medium shot is your most common shot. It's everything is the master shot. So normally, your A roll is your medium shot or slightly wider, just in case. Remember I said just in case. I'm interviewing him. He sit down there halfway, then he decided to lie to the other side. Oh! Right? Too late. A little bit wider. Master shot. So that's your medium to wide. Right? So understand the rationale. Your screen, your eyes. Medium shot is comfortable distance. Okay? We'll talk about that a bit more.
When during elections, right?
Yeah.
The shots at the parties, how is that?
What do you mean by the shot at the party?
When the parties give the messages and all that during elections.
Don't know, I don't remember.
Different parties they will come to they will give this message to all the people right before voting. So what is that shot?
I don't understand.
Is it considered close up or is it considered medium?
I don't know, I need to see it. I need to see it. Okay, anyway, this is an establishing shot, typically. Right, so that's why I said back in the day, like it's cool to have your drone shot and everything. And then this title and this thing is well established. We're up in the mountains, we're shooting indigenous people. Right? So that is a typical establishing shot. But is that all? Right? Remember I said establishing is the word, the main word is establishing, not the shot. Okay? Establishing shot. So if I was to shoot a cafe, why need something like this? Like my story is 咖啡王子 or whatever. I don't know, cafe something, cafe prince, coffee princess. Not necessary. What more likely will I shoot in the coffee princess? Maybe some makeup and some coffee, right? Right? Does that consider establishing? Does it set the context and tone? I think so. Right? So, another thing, if I have an ultra wide establishing shot, my train of thought. Okay, what I'm trying to say is that your establishing shot on top of conveying location and what's going to happen, it can convey time. It can convey time and can convey era. As much information as you can. Okay, that's your establishing shot. Okay, so this one is another one. You can see me when I'm super young. In the first few seconds. There we go. Gone already. Not a single white shot in frame. But you were what was the establishing? Fashion show? Right? And it's all about the Google thing.
But here we were talking to these young bloggers tonight, all chitter-chattering and hearing and sharing, so.
Yeah. Right, so this is, I show this clip for three things. One is that you can establish the shots differently. That means it doesn't have to be always white. The context is important. Now we have A row. Yes. In this one? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's the same as drawing, You draw that time, they will recommend you say don't need to fit into the box fully. But you should give some space on top of the head. Normally, that helps. It's headroom. This one more important. This one not so important. You frame her nicely, then with the headroom is good enough. Because you cannot control her hand. Then if you shoot very wide, then maybe behind very ugly. Depends. Case by case. Doesn't have to always be contained. Unless it's important, like sign language. Let's say you say sign language, it has to be all contained in the shot. Then yeah. But if not, out of frame is okay. Yeah. Right? What is the arrow? This lady. Because she's like some super important person. I forgot her name, but she's like some fashion guru back then. Right? So she is the arrow. She is the main subject, the key message carrier. We are recording her interview. This video is actually done for Google Hangouts in 2014. Sorry, I use very old references. Right? Back then, Google Hangouts haven't official launched yet. We were the beta launching team. So we were doing a lot of famous interviews for people, to get those celebrities and come down, just so that they will put it out as advertisement that they are using Google Hangouts. Right? So the most important person was this one. Then, do you all recognize what was the B-roll? The B-roll is also the establishing shot. Use it for establishing shot. Okay, so now let me define again. A-roll is your main subject, and what is B-roll? B-roll is details, textures, support message. Okay, sorry, I feel like I jump, huh? I feel like jump, sorry. Okay? The B-roll. Have you all heard of B-roll before? Are you all like YouTube watchers? Right? If you watch enough YouTube, if you do watch YouTube, right, it's like they always have these B-roll moments because YouTube, as a lot of people are just talking. So they are just talking. And in order to fill up the gaps, because you just look at their face talking non-stop, it can get quite boring. Right? So the B-roll is typically short to give context to what's happening. So let's say now I'm giving you a story about dinosaurs. Then talk, at some point of time you will give up on me. But I will show you some shots of dinosaur. Then I show you maybe, Jerome went to this museum to go and find his research. Then rather than just showing me there, he showed me walking there, picking up something, kick onto a dinosaur bone, get scolded by the archaeologists, that kind of thing. Right? So this B-roll, on top of giving context, can give interest. Like small little bits of information. Right? Ideally, with various and interesting angles. Can I try to remember that? With various and interesting angles. Ideally, 6. If you cannot think of 6, let me show you 6 right now. Okay? Can one, sure can think of at least 6 one. Okay? First one, if this is my subject, you can straight in front. If you cannot write, you can straight from the top. If you think that it's not enough, you can from the bottom, and then from the side, and next thing you can create interest. That means like use things to help you frame stuff. That means like instead of just shooting the item, I can frame it using a gap of something. Right? So I use something, I shoot through this one of course is a bit weird lah. But let's say cafe, what can you use? You can use a window, you can use a light. Like for instance, there's some lamp, you can shoot through a lamp. You can see reflection, sometimes you'll shoot through reflection. If you can find a very unique space, then you have something a bit different from other people already lah. So if you can hit 6, your video cannot be boring one. Less than that, sometimes no choice. Sometimes no choice, right? And then this thing, let's just see how Jerome anyhow frame things. Hey, but on a serious note, you do commercial work, not always can do all these funny angles also lah. Because depends on the client's appetite. You do for social media, anything also can, right? But you do some clients must be professional looking, must be slick, must be that, right? So this is what I'm talking about, the framing. Like you use something else to go and frame something. So you got your diagonals, but you can still see the thing, right? Oh yeah, horrible, right? So you got your low angles, you got your high angle. This is completely something that you wouldn't have otherwise done. You can directly from below also can, but I didn't do that. Then this is your standard lah. This is your A. This is your A roll, right? But again, B roll is not meant to shoot the subject. B roll is to give context. So you're shooting all around the place. You're not just shooting the thing. You can shoot the journey. You can shoot whatever else. Yes. Sorry? What do you mean by height? That's not what I think. That's not what I meant. What I meant was you use it to is use it for transition. Sorry, that's not what I meant. Is use it for transition. Huh?
Basically, like when scene changes,
Yeah.
you don't want to show it like literally.
Yeah.
So you are transitioning there.
Correct.
So in both ways you are meaning the same.
Correct. So that means if Gordon Ramsay down there cooking for you, to cover up mistakes sometimes. Actually, a lot of times. Right? It's mostly to cover mistakes. Like the person talking, then like I'm literally working on a project now. The interview, like it's an interview, and the person to talk like that one, you know how hard it's easy to edit something like that. It can kill you, you know. Then you take his first word that sounds nice and his last word that sounds nice, and then the rest of it you Frankenstein. Then you arrange it nicely. Then you put a shot of the nice plant, a shot of the nice chair, a shot of right. But it must be context. It must be relevant to the story, right? So this B-roll does hide all your mistakes. So in the meantime, when the person forever 3 seconds that he's talking nicely, you show his whole face. Then for the rest of it, there's the one then you put down there whatever lah, right? Right. So it is what it is, right? So B-roll does help you cover up a lot of mistakes in interview situations, right? Corporate video also always use B-roll. Right? Yeah. I mean, I exaggerate lah the stuttering one, but I have encountered stuttering before. But there are some people, like for instance, the ones that like to use lah. Everything also but then every time you I must cut it off, you know. I cannot put it in. Boss will scold me, right? And then Chinese people will 这个那就是这个那个一个 then what's everything also got 一个 everything also 这个 one. Hey. Yeah. I thought, very irritating. I was like, I can't do this. So just cut away every time I see 这个 I actually cut it off. Even if I need it. Yeah. Then can already. Right. Okay, type of shot. Okay, LS extra long shot. Extra wide lah. Extra wide. Okay, extra wide only for establishing. Doesn't make any sense. Like if you have a subject, because it's all context. There's no unless you're trying to show that the person is lost, maybe lost in the jungle. That one got chance. Okay, so what's this? Long shot. This is wide shot. This is wide shot. Long shot, wide shot, same thing. Right. Head to toe. Medium shot, medium close up, extreme close up. In our line, we also have this one Singaporean. I don't know whether overseas use it. They will say 2 shot, 3 shot, 4 shot. They refer to how many human in the shot. Right. So you say, help me frame up a 3 shot here. Then they will frame 3 people in the shot. How do you frame a 4 shot here? That. Master shot is typically 3 to 4. Master. Where is it? Master shot. This one, MS. Right. This is over the shoulder. This is a conversation. It's your Dutch is special. Dutch is a slanted shot. Normally to convey chaos or fighting or earthquake. Point of view. So this is actually something else. I did one whole video that's almost purely do already. But this is mirrorless class, so I'm going to tell you that I did that all with mirrorless camera. Very, very torturous for the actors. Because I had to hang a camera in front of their head and then like that, and then ask them to act like that. Right? But can be done, can be done. All medium, kind of wide angle. So point of view shots, add interest. Something else a little bit different. Yeah. Spatial consistency, eyeline continuity. Okay. This is talking about orientation. Okay, this now we back to the whole storytelling of things. If you are filming somebody, and then I walk out of the door, or rather I walk in from the door down here. So imagine there's a door here. Here's a door, and you're now the audience. I am on the screen. Which side? Screen left, right? I'm on the screen left. If I walk out of here, do I need to, the next shot should be I come out from screen. I need to be walking in the same direction, correct? Alright? That means it cannot be that if this is the door, I try to come in, the next shot is immediately I'm like that. Okay? Because there are a lot of people who film a lot in excess. They film in excess. Your Peter Jackson, King Kong, the movie, Transformers. They all watch Transformers, the first one. Right? If you watch Transformers, the first one, do you feel it's very messy? Like, all sorts of things are happening. Right? Because the way Peter Jackson and King Kong also, to be honest, the way he likes to do it, right, is that he has like 40, 50 cameras all shooting at the same time. So that he has access of footage. Then he goes to Industrial Light Imaging and asks them to animate, right? Animate every single angle they possibly can. Then you just sit down there and choose. Then they choose it and they edit it accordingly. So in the end, without a clear planning on the pre-shot, what happens is that there are times whereby it goes in and it comes out at the same direction, or it goes in funny movements. If do you understand what I'm trying to say? Right? So the continuity is quite important. How do you break it though? Is it possible? I think can, no? But you must let the audience know that you are breaking. That's important. So if I want to walk here, I can always go from the top or turn or show that I am walking into another room. Then I can change the direction. You must make it clear before you break a continuity rule. Okay, give you another example. 180-degree rule. Okay, so I think I need 2 people. Okay. So imagine I'm the camera. Then you face her. Right? Now I'm behind her shoulder. Is she on my left or on my right? She's on my left lah. You're right. She's on my right. Right. So maybe to help you all see her instead. So she's on your left. Right? So if this camera comes over here, and then now she's on my right. Correct? So what's my point? So what I'm trying to say is that if there is a rule called the 180-degree rule when you're filming 2 people talking to each other. You should not cross this line. Why? Because, like, for instance, my point of view over here, the moment I cross to here, she shifts position on screen.
It's not about the blocking.
Nothing to block. Maybe I use actual camera to show you, will be more obvious to what I'm saying.
But if it's a bit area, will you still consider breaking through? That means
Only if it's a continuous shot. That means that non-stop, then follow, can. But if you cut, cannot. Okay, you all see this. Okay, now you face her. Right, you face her. Okay, so if I am here like this in this conversation, right, this is her current state. Right, so the rule of third says that I cannot cross the line between them. That means I must stay over there. Sorry, this one not long enough and my wireless not. So I'm going to take a photograph down here now and they continue the conversation. So now you look at her, then okay? So I'm going to show you all exactly what I mean. Why you cannot cross that line. I'm going to, one last shot, you all face each other again. Now I cross the line already, Okay. Okay, now you all can see the screen now. Okay, so this was the first shot. She's on the left of screen. Imagine you all have a dialogue, they talk, very happy. Then she talk finish already, then I went to see my son that day. Really? You're looking at yourself. She's on the left and she's on the right. So they continue the conversation and say, oh yeah, really, my nephew also like to go back. Does this make sense so far? Between these two? The moment I cross this line, now let's say I'm talking to her, yeah, but then you know my son, and then then suddenly like that. Then she replies. Then suddenly the shot just keeps rotating between this. Do you all see the confusion? Right? It's an intentional screen control whereby you keep in the conversation, one person's on the left, one person's on the right, so that the conversation flow. The moment you do this, you will get lost. Right? And some more, the Angmo look at us all Asian. We're talking the same person. Okay? Right? So cannot, Okay? Right? So that is your rule of thirds. Sorry, 180-degree rule. Yeah. Well, I'm teaching a lot. In fact, this is more than I normally teach in a normal class. This is one of every topic also touch a little bit. Never go too deep, never go too shallow.
Do you prefer me to be on the right?
My AI muse.
Do you prefer me to be on the left?
I don't really know. It's very confusing.
Right. So my whole point is the left and right thing lah. You don't take your camera, go one whole circle like that and try to be funny Right. So yeah, that's my AI muse. Right. Oh, the next one is the left right thing.
Where am I?
Where am I?
Okay. In this case, it actually works. You know why? Because when the whole point of this video is the whole confusion, right? You left walk in, then left suddenly right come out, then right come in, left walk out, right? That creates the chaos. So it's not saying cannot use lah, but when you want to use it, you must use it to create some intentional chaos, right? If not, oh, another thing, if every time there's a cut, and this is an editing thing, right? It's not really a filming thing lah. Every time there's a cut, just for your tips is that you don't show the whole process, right? I'll just tell you all first. You're editing, you don't show the whole process. You coming in through the door, you just need to show that actually I'm halfway through the door. The other side I'm fully out already. Because every time there's a cut, time has elapsed. Time has passed. Okay? Okay? That's the editing tip. Okay, yeah. This is all the funny thing. Okay. The lighting, we'll do semi-interactive because of my limited space. So lighting magic, these are quite standard things. So that is considered golden hour, the sunset thing. Backlit from the behind. This is more of a studio key light. I'll replicate it here. This one is with fluorescent artificial lighting. This is natural lighting. Okay, so between professionals, you use lighting to shape the face or product and you separate it from the background. Case by case, this is not the law, this is what you can use lighting for. Okay, create that instead of flatness. Why am I create depth? Create depth is more like you create these kind of shadows. Like this is what you mean by making it 3D. Right, you create the shadow using the shadow and lighting to sculpt. Right, so you make it feel intentional. Yeah, so we're going to do it. Okay, before that, since I need to give you all tips, right? Cannot go home empty-handed. I went to Jerome's class, all technical. Then I don't know what happened at the end of the day. I come home now. I can sleep well because I listen to too much stuff. Right? Give you some simple tips to improve your day and improve your video and photo skill. Okay? The first one is about lighting. Or rather, the main thing is about lighting already. Okay? First and foremost, there's the concept called light wrapping. Or rather, soft lighting. Let's just use a simple word, like soft lighting. So what do you understand from soft lighting? Something like this? Do you consider it soft lighting? Right? So this is generally what's known as considered pleasing, considered nice, right? Because it's very soft, right? When I say soft means what? Don't have a lot of hard shadow. You don't have all the right? But of course you do fashion, you do whatever, you can do what you want. But in general, soft lighting is low shadows, relatively evenly lit. Right? How do you achieve that? Easily. It's not always easy, but the easiest way. The easiest way is to follow this example. Is to find the biggest light source. Okay? So recently, I'm in this networking group. I'm not going to tell you which one because I'm not promoting it. But the point is that the other time finish networking, you must always take photo, right? Take photo. Then everybody is like, where to go. Then we always shoot in a hotel. Then they're always trying to shoot in some weird place. Then I'm like, hello, there's a gigantic window over here. The moment you walk towards the window, you get a very nice and natural soft lighting. So let me explain the phenomenon of this soft lighting a little bit more using light. But I need a model. Okay, I need to change model also. I don't use the same people. Someone at the back. Somebody gonna come over here. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to explain to you all the phenomenon of the soft lighting. Like why does it become softer? Can I have somebody? No? I just realized something. I must stand here, right? If not, my cable is limited in length. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I'll use this. And I will like that. Oh, let the light with your faces. Okay. Okay. Let me borrow somebody. Can I borrow somebody? A human to be my model? No! Hey, borrow a human lah. Come. Yeah. Be my model. Okay, just need to stand there and don't need to do anything. No, here. Yo, so don't be nervous. It's like the worst thing to say to people. Wait. Okay, so stand. Yeah, just stand there. Face me. Yeah. Let me create some intentional errors also. So I will start with something a bit more harsh. Without trying to blind anybody. And then ta-da! Okay. Ayo. So very smart. Okay. No. Okay, so this is what you call like very harsh lighting. In fact, you can look at the screen if you want to see your own face, right? Right, you see all the hard shadows, and right, and on top of that, it's from very low, so all the shadows pointing upwards, like horror movie like that, right? So I'm going to take a look at the shot. Ayo. Right, okay. So the point, what causes this is that the light source is very small, right, and very hard, very heavy. So it travels in a very straight line, and what it does is it carves out all the dark portions. It's not necessarily a bad thing because you can use it to. This would have been much easier with my wireless, but we do what we can, We do what we can. Okay. I try not to blind you. I try. I'm sorry. You look at me. Don't look at that. Okay. Okay. Keep it like that. Right. So same thing down here. This one very harsh. Okay. This thing blocking this way. Okay. So if you are trying to so-called, especially for no, it's okay. I think so. Right. So for this kind of lighting, you'll notice that the hard lights actually the hard lights actually cause all these shadows and it's because it's very, very small and it's not diffuse. Diffusion happens when it passes through some level of like a filter, right? So your light gets scattered. The light gets scattered to some degree, right? It gets scattered to some degree, and then that breaks your shadow a bit. Okay. The second, or rather the more important one that I want to show you is to find the gigantic light. Correct? And then why do we find a gigantic light? Come back here. And the gigantic light also don't go straight into your face lah. Right? You can, but ideally it's at the right angle. Okay, come closer. Okay, don't move. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and then last one is, this one is only if you are actually lighting the person. We talk about saying that you can sculpt the character. Stand, don't move. Right, we can sculpt the character by giving them some, I'll talk about it after the shot. Okay, ready, 1, 2, and poop. Okay, Ken, thank you. Oh, I'm also getting blind already. Okay, so let's look at the shot. Okay, compare the lighting. Which one I prefer? Right? So how does how does the larger light source actually soften the lighting, the shadow? Okay, I'm gonna tell you all how it works. Is this thing called light wrapping. Okay, think about it. Now think about it. Now look at me versus this thing. This light is here. Where do you think is the brightest part on my face? Yeah, right. Then the shadow is like that, right? So the shadow here very dark, right? This part, as it goes on here, does this light still touch my face? Yeah, it does, what? Right? Light goes every direction. Right, so it's not just like go straight line like this, it goes everywhere. But the strongest point will be the perpendicular lah. But so here is the brightest, then here is getting not as bright, but still covering me. Do you think that this light will make this shadow darker or lighter? Lighter, correct, right? But it's a faded lighter, right? Because it gets less powerful. As it goes here, you lose 1 stop, 1 foot away already. Right, here, you're still affecting my shadow, but it is lesser. So it becomes a very smooth gradient. This is the light wrapping effect. Can you all visualize it? So when you have a very large panel or a very large screen, it's not that, diffuse. No, there's an element of this wrapping around you nicely and gently. If you can, one giant curtain, then double soft already, right? You have the light wrap plus you have the diffuse, one gigantic curtain, right? Then done, right? But this is the idea of a bigger is better light source, right? Okay, and then since I took an extra photograph, right? This is I put one light directly behind her. Optional, artistic choice. This is normally for all the interviews and what we'll do this, but case by case, right? If you do this, don't mind my framing also, anyhow one. Is to separate her from the background, especially if there's something too messy or what. Sometimes it's nicer to don't have it. Sometimes it's nicer to have a dark background and have a contrasty looking thing. But it depends on the end look that you're going for. So this is lighting in general. Okay, so this is 2-point lighting. 3-point lighting, just the last one, the most common one you all have heard of is 3-point lighting. But why I show you all 2-point is because I think 3-point unnecessary. This is one known as the key light, main light, key light, the most primary light. It is normally 45 degree. In this case, I put sideways because I wanted to show you all the light wrap effect. But if not, if I use that one, it's about 30 to 45 degree in front of me. This is the rim light. It creates a rim. Okay, the last one is all your lighting coming from here. This is all the lighting coming from here. In case this area is too dark, you can have a fill. That's your 3-point lighting. Korean drama different. Korean drama, they have a U. Very, very cute one. Have you all seen it before? It is a U-shaped reflector, like white color. It's a very gigantic big U, so there's no shadow anywhere. Like all the light come in, oh, very nice. Like all like advertisement. Okay, let's see. I think that's about most of it from me already. So, any other questions? I mean, the time is about up also. This one? No, that came from somewhere. Came from projector. Projector. Yeah. So, I mean, this one again, I'm shooting a bit blind. So if you are particular, make sure you frame nicely and everything, and no funny stuff. Certain things I look for, I'm very particular about is stuff sticking out behind them. I hate it when the shot looks like this. It happens, more often than you think. Most of the time it's a lamppost or a tree. I hate it. I think it makes the silhouette weird. So I always try to do something like just a little bit beside, if I have no choice. Yeah. Fire hydrant. Also, you have it, right? You always have some random one thing sticking out from behind the person's head. Yeah. So that's one of them. Normally, hair, but her hair is okay lah. I mean, I'll tidy hair a bit also. Yeah. So. Wow, that's very difficult. That's very difficult because this is too saturated and too focused already. If it's a little bit, maybe. And if you move too much, also very difficult. The static is much easier to control. Once movement comes in, only very hard to control. Yeah. Any questions?
Like when there's a reflective cover.
Say again?
When there's a product is inside a plastic cover.
Okay. Show you. Inside What define inside?
For example, you have a transparent packaging over a product inside.
Right, so bigger is better, as usual. Do we have something reflective that I can show you as an example? Okay, so I think the easier answer is spectacles. Like let's say spectacles, right? It's a reflective surface, right? So
no, I mean the packaging is reflective, but you still want to see the product inside the reflective package.
So light works by incidence, right? I mean, look, like there's a bounce and there's a refraction.
Reflection that sometimes make it hard to.
Yeah. So the bigger, if you can wrap the whole thing, then you will have less. That's the first thing.
Pour more light on it.
It's not about the brightness, it's about the size. Yeah. Yeah, it's not about the reflection, it's about the size.
My way is to remove it from
Yeah.
now the packaging. Yeah, this is what I did for my company product image.
But what if you have no choice, but you have to have that?
You got to let them know you have no choice, you have to open it up.
But now they only want to see.
Can? Yeah. Take the biscuit. Anything all also can.
There's no way, whichever you move the camera, you're going to see the light from
You can also try the polarizing lens, but not guaranteed. Polarizing is only works for like solar panels are very good. Right, so this one, wow. The headache of the universe, right? Reflections. This one I need tripod help already. I can't shift stuff and look at stuff at the same time. Anyway, all non-guarantee all case by case. right? So, like for instance, I had one that we were doing for Nutella. Then the Nutella advertisement, like they cannot have any reflections on the jar. God. Okay, so first and foremost, like bigger is easier to like you see, you can sculpt the light quite easily, right? So that means that whatever is over here, right? This thing now I tell you this random lights is all this. So proper lighting for product turn off for product, right? If you are super not clear, you can. The bigger, evener source, the clearer. The flatter the thing can go. So if it's super duper big, let's say like this, relative to the item, you must change. Yeah, that's and the size of the light source matters. So you will see in filming side, what we will do is we have let's say this kind of wall. If we cannot find a big enough light source, but we must bring a more powerful, this is not powerful enough, we will just hit like that so that the wall is your reflector. Like it becomes a 4 foot by 4 foot rather than this thing. So there's a lot of creative ways of making it softer, right? So essentially what I'm trying to do is put it into a light box situation by having a larger source of light, right? So that's not if this one was going to fail, I was going to use that one and put one gigantic piece on top. But the most important part is that is the size and the sculpting of the thing. So the only thing we can try to do is like reduce the creases and find the angles. But in general, 剩多极少.
But it can be too unnatural as well.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed the session. If you want to join the community, this is the Equinite one. The Facebook and LinkedIn is here. Feedback form. Oh, sorry. That's right. Feedback form. Anyway, thank you all for having me on a